Hello and welcome to another episode of the Crichton and Enari podcast. This time we were only 4 minutes late. That's because I'm really sick today. As you guys can probably tell from my raspy voice, I'm not doing too well. But I couldn't take off today. Today was not one of those days that we could take off. Quite frankly, it's just too important of an episode. Too much is happening. The world in rugby league is literally turning upside down. But before we get into any of that, I want to give a big warm welcome to Dibbo. Good evening, Dibbo. How you doing? Dibbo, you're on mute. I think Dibbo may be having some technical difficulties. You're still on mute. Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on. Big shout out to everyone that's here. Be massive, David Lau. Who else is here? Norm's always here. Morris, Maras, Elmo still driving back. Brad Cambridge, um, Eddie Abs, Deep Talib, obviously, as always. We're at Langlands. How you doing, brother? Sorry, guys, I'm completely as you guys can probably tell, I'm a little bit sick. Bill Sam, welcome. Brad Cambridge, welcome as always. It's good to have everybody in here today. We are, I'm actually, David, I'm quite sick today. I just got a chest infection, to be honest. And up until 2 hours ago, I actually didn't have a voice at all. So really happy that I've come through. I've had sort of a bit of a day of just trying to sleep it off. Got a big day tomorrow with Shifty, as you guys would have all seen. We are going to be reviewing the Dogs versus Panthers game with none other than the last halfback to win a grand final for the Bulldogs, Brent Shifty Sherwin. It's going to be one of those days where, we get some great insight from a player who I think we don't hear enough of after he has retired. And so I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, today I had to do a shift. I had to do the work just like the boys. A lot of boys are playing wounded, playing injured, and so they're going to be playing. Now, I am. I will be taking it easy today, only because my voice may not last. Dibbo, you there? So as Dibbo, honestly, just before we started, there was no issues with Dibbo's audio. I'm not sure what's happened here. So we will wait for Dibbo until he sorts his stuff out. He'll be back. Magas, the Sherwin interview will be happening right here on YouTube. Right here on YouTube tomorrow at midday. Right here on YouTube. It's going to be with Shifty Sherwin himself. As I say, we actually were going to do it last week with Shifty. He was going to come on, talk to us all things Bulldogs, all things, semi-finals, talk to us about the Dogs' chances. But he couldn't make it work last week. So, being the great guy that he is, he did say he'll come on this week. He's actually really excited to be on. So that for me is really exciting as well. A Kanji is in here. He's saying, Elmo, did you just wake up? No, as I've been saying before, no, I've got a chest infection and I've been quite sick. I'm lucky that I'm even here today. Just on the account of being sick. Tomorrow, excuse me, Luke Wiskowski, good to see you in here, brother. I was hoping to see you in here. Look, we're very much looking forward to the game. It's going to be a big game. There's so much on the line. But before all that, I want to say to everybody that doubted the Bulldogs and everyone in this chat that told me the Bulldogs couldn't do it, or the Bulldogs were an easy loss. I'm glad that the boys came out and proved you wrong. I think without a shadow of a doubt, the boys came out and proved all the doubters wrong. While we didn't win, I'm comfortable enough to say that had we not sustained the injuries that we did, we would have won. We would have won. And that's the beauty of having a second chance. It's the beauty of coming top 4 is that you get to make up for these I guess mistakes. These aren't mistakes, but I think that if we don't lose both our centers, I think the Bulldogs would have won. I think we were the better team. And I think that us as fans need to reckon with the fact that Ciraldo, while we may not agree with all the decisions that he makes, the dude knows what he's got. The dude knows what he has in the team, and he knows how to get them up. Dibbo, can you speak, or are you still muted?
No, on me.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's weird. It just as he started, it just went offline, which was odd. Must be some lasers.
Yeah. Very quickly, I just want to give a shout out, Jamie Teasdale. Let the boys, let's go, doggy. Sorry, had to pay to comment. Jamie. So if you guys don't know, another Bulldogs podcast actually called Jamie out for giving the kennel super chats, and he was sort of talking a little bit of shit about Jamie for being on the kennel podcast and giving super chats.
Who's this person?
I don't really care, and I don't want to name names, but this is just to say that we love Jamie.
Some small man had to go at Jamie for... Who is this small man?
There's no need. I don't really care who it is. I'm just saying this is more about Jamie needing to
some
know that...
small man must be watching our podcast. I hope he's watching now, small man. I hope this gets to him as well.
I just want to point out that
Jamie... I wouldn't even watch his podcast.
But if Jamie did not give a cent, and bro, we love Jamie. His support has been fantastic. He's messaging us on Insta, like always sending information, always sending stuff. We love Jamie regardless. Like this is never about anything at all. It's always like, come here for the chat, stay for the chat, stay for the love. I feel like we've built a small community here. Like I love you guys so much. I look forward to Tuesdays just to see these names. Just to see everybody here. And this is just to say, Jamie, we love you, bro. As part of the Kennel family, as part of the Bulldogs family, as part of this podcast family, we love you, bro. Never ever want you to feel like anyone at all, bro. We love you guys just for being here with us every Tuesday night. Like your time is the best investment you can give us. And so we love you guys. There's no need for us to point out who it is. It is just to say that we love you all. And Jamie, bro, you're very special to us no matter what. Dibbo's always, saying, bro, Jamie's a legend. This and that. Even when we're just planning, it's something that
I'm just curious to know I'm just curious to know which small man. I just want to call him out so nobody. If this person's like this, a bully and malicious, I just want to call it out so nobody watches his podcast ever again. The fact that he's got a problem with other people some people watching other podcasts tells me the guy's toxic. And nobody should be watching his podcast whatsoever. I want to know who it is, and I will get to the bottom of it. And I will catch up with this person as well. And I hope this finds him. And I hope this finds him.
Luke Wiskowski's asking, is it Paul Kent? Hey, I'm gonna say something.
I already ruined Paul Kent, so yeah.
I'm gonna say.
I already ruined him, so I don't care.
Paul Kent, right? I actually think Paul Kent's since he started his own thing, has actually been fantastic. I reckon his opinions have been spot on. I think he's speaking with a lot of clarity about the game. And it's one of the guys I reckon right now as a commentator is probably doing better than a lot of others. And actually, as much as that sounds funny, I actually respect Paul Kent coming back and speaking so clearly about the game the way he has been. He's actually a breath of fresh air. Now, I want to give Brian Dib a shout out. $5. Are you going to call a spade and call out Ciraldo? All right. So I will call a spade a spade.
Yeah, go roll it up. Let's go.
All right. I will call a spade a spade. I actually think that Galvin looked better with Sexton at 7 because Galvin is a 6, trying to play 7. And I thought Sexton came on and he straightened the attack. However, I thought that we looked sharp in attack from the very first second, and our intention was to play good footy. That's not to say that Ciraldo hasn't made some bad choices. I think I 100% believe that Marnie should be starting 9, not Haywood. And to be honest, I think I reckon he knows that. That's why he chose Sexton. I reckon he knows that our attack needed a kick in the ass, and that's why he chose Sexton. Can I just say, guys, please, let's not attack anyone. Let's not mention any names at all. Let's not talk about another podcast or anyone in specific. I don't want to inflame any situation. The guy from other podcasts, I've got great relationships with all of them. Please, I really just want you guys to know we're not toxic here. We don't call anyone out. I just wanted to show Jamie love. That was really all it was. It wasn't about me calling anyone out in specific. So let's just sort of focus on the game. Let's focus on our discussion. Dibbo, what did you think? Is my assessment fair?
We're going to call a spade, and he became the Tinker Man. And there was too much tinkering around. And Brian's got a point. If you recall, before he started tinkering around, the Dogs were 11-2, Elmo, or 13-3, something like that.
Yeah.
And then he started tinkering around. Sure, he couldn't wait till after the end of the season. He wanted to make signings to strengthen his squad. But he got trigger happy, got ahead of himself. The club was sitting comfortably at first. The defense looked impregnable. Besides, like two defeats in atrocious conditions. I'm not making any excuses there, but they were winning. Like everyone kept pointing, Sexton's only got 4 try assists, but the team was just churning along and winning. That's what was working for them. The grinding out, the playing the percentages football, playing the direct football. And just keeping the pressure on. They were just unrelenting. And then obviously, you got your players in the team that would just polish it off, like Burton and Crichton, for example. And look, tinkering. So he brought in Galvin in the place of Preston. I've never seen Galvin be a halfback. Sorry, did I say Preston? I meant Sexton. So I've never seen Galvin as a halfback. Bringing Galvin, sure, bring him into the team, but a halfback for a guy that's played halfback his whole career. Reid Marnie, sure, his service can be better, but they were winning. He was churning out the tackles. He was making 50 to 60 tackles with about 4 or 5 missed a game. Now you got Haywood, who sure runs about a dummy half, but makes about 20 tackles in the time he's on for about 15 missed. That's unforgivable. I don't see where Salmon starts in his squad. Like it's just he's come in and just tinkered the team around, and then he got Sexton back in on the weekend, not intentionally as a starter, but like it just showed. Like Galvin went to 6, and I thought Galvin was quite solid running off him, and obviously Burton in the centers. Like I'm not saying, but like Burton, I still reckon Burton for him to go to center, he's got to get more dynamic halves to afford him going to center, because taking him away from the halves takes a lot away. Unless you're replacing his running game and his booming kicking game to some extent, he's wasted to some extent in the centers. Because he brings a lot in the halves as well. But yeah, he became the Tinker Man basically. Look, he brought Curran back in the starting squad. I always thought, why did Curran go to the bench? Curran went into the starting position. Curran for me is better as a starter, not a bench player. That's how I saw it anyway. So, yeah.
Look, I agree with a lot of what you've said. But I will say, as the game went on, even when we lost Tuala, I thought the right side opened up a little bit more as Galvin got more comfortable at 6 and Sexton was organising the game. If you look at how many breaks we actually made on the right, I think Preston made one, Tupanua made one. There was some really, really good ball that Tupanua was running hard onto. So, like, I've said for a long time, I've said for a very, very long time that Salmon needs to go from the team. I think he's a weak link. I seriously, I reckon he's definitely a weak link. But I've said for ages, I've said for a very long time that Galvin is a 6 playing a 7, and I don't think it's going to be as easy to go from 6 to 7 at such a young age so quickly. Like he came in, in the juniors, he played second row, he played lock, he played 5'8". So like for him to be 7, I think it's like such a big shift. The other thing is, like, I've been staunch against the idea of Burton playing at centre. I've been staunch against the idea for a long time. And to be honest, I still am. What I know, or what I can tell you after that Melbourne game, is that Burton is a freak at centre. If we can plan our game around Burton and Sherry at centre, I just think that we actually absolutely have a shot to take on the Panthers, because the way Burton ran last week, he scored a great try. He still kicked. As long as we don't miss, or his kicking game doesn't die completely, as long as we can still use his kicking game when we need it, especially if he's playing on the left, I actually think that could be such a blessing in disguise for the whole team. My only concern is that Sherry and Burton play on the same side, and I don't know. I don't know if we can have Sherry on the right-hand side, Burton on the left. I don't know if Burton can play on the right. And so I'm just not sure at the moment how that's going to work. But I will say that finals game the Bulldogs played against the Storm was the toughest game I've seen in finals for a very long time. Look, the Brisbane versus Raiders game was the best game ever, full stop. I don't think you need to talk about that too much. But the grit and determination that the Bulldogs showed, especially against Adam G, who the whole game gave everything to Melbourne. I don't really understand, this bullshit that this absolute bullshit that Melbourne get a free reign down in Melbourne. I think that it's just so disappointing to see the way the game was played, the way it was officiated. Like, we got called out on 2 forward passes by man, but I swear to God, I don't think Harry Grant threw one decent pass. Decent pass.
You guys should have looked. I'm not pissing in your pocket, but you should have won it. But he's blew it. Oh mate, he's blew it. You know what? There was two awesome tackles by
Pezzett.
One of them on Burton. Burton normally scores if he goes himself, but I thought the easy option there would have just to pass the ball. I thought they should have scored that one. That one it was a pearl of a tackle to bring him down by Pezzett 1-on-1, because Burton's a big boy and he's a brilliant runner of the ball. But he's blew it. Will he get another opportunity? Well, he's got to get past by Penrith this week. Not exactly a tough ask to beat Brisbane. I know Brisbane's winning. Well, they've been winning of late. They're at home, but they got some injuries. They've crept their way as well. And honestly, I feel like Madge has got a tough question whether to bring in Reynolds or not, because honestly, for me, bringing in Reynolds, he's going to break down again. So,
I agree 100%. I'm so glad.
Got to get past Penrith.
Here's my thing, right? Just before we go, before we go onto the Broncos, I want to just give a quick shout out. Brian Dibb, if Sexton and Money start, we can win this week and next week. Even if Critter out, the Dogs can do it. The only thing stopping the Dogs is the coach. Look, I honestly don't think Money will play this week, even if Sexton starts at at 7. Although I get the feeling that Sexton will drop to the bench. I do feel that Sexton will drop to the bench and that either Critter or Montoya will come in. Otherwise, why name them? I think like, Eddie, I love you, bro. I love your opinions, but I actually disagree with this. To say we blew it in that situation, I think is a bit harsh. I'm content to say that we just didn't win. The ref was against us. We got no luck. We had severe injuries. Up until Enari Tuala got injured, I actually thought Enari Tuala was one of our best. In defense, he was everywhere. In attack, the bloke was killing it, right? He was absolutely killing it. And so when he got off injured, he just went down. When he got sniped, I was just like, dude, what the hell happened? It was after the night at the game, and we did not know what happened. I'm sitting there frantically messaging my wife, what happened? Tell me what's going on. Even when Kikau went off, we had no idea what happened. And then, they said that Ciraldo wasn't coming off, and then you had to move Preston to the right, which ruined our attack and our defense on the left. And it was unfortunate, but I don't think that I'm happy to say we blew it. I think the boys were fantastic. I think the boys deserve all the accolades. And again, like, teams are writing us off against the Panthers. I'm not saying we're gonna do it. I'm not saying we're gonna win, but bro, like, we went down to Melbourne. No one gave us a chance. And then we go down there. I thought we played better than them. Boys in the comments are saying that the props are our problem. I absolutely agree with you 100 million%. Our problem is not our backline. It's not our halves. It's not our fullback. It's our props. I think it's as simple as that our props are the problem. King, 89 meters. Current, I don't know how many meters.
They improved. It was an improved showing. I just want to highlight Brad Cambridge. You've brought it up, Brad. You're on the money there. Man, did you guys all see the stats on the weekend? I know you missed a lot of tackles, but 15.
Yeah,
15, and he brought no attack. And the Salmon. I haven't had a chance to really go through the team yet, but I thought Salmon would have been thrown head first out of the 17. That's what I thought.
Like, bro, he played 100 games last week.
Hayward either needs to get out of the 17 or on the bench. Marnie needs to come in. The guy started for you guys for the last 3 years. Helped you rebuild, helped you go forward. Now all of a sudden it's on the outer when it came to the crunch time of the season.
I reckon Hayward.
Who's pulling the strings?
Better 13 or 14, bro. I reckon Hayward will be a much better 13 or 14 for the Bulldogs, interchanging with
Elmo. He's not a forward.
Who?
Come on, man. Hayward. He's actually a half.
No. I'm with you, but hear me out, bro. Hear me out.
I just want to argue with you. Let's go.
No, hear me out. Hayward did this job great throughout the season where he was interchanging with Man at lock. I think that makes the perfect combo.
I agree.
Right? He can help Marnie in defending the middle. He can get the ball out to the edges, and he can let the 6 and the 7 dictate terms. Then you can have 3 forwards on the bench. You can have 3 forwards on the bench.
It was only going to work for so long before they realised this guy's not a proper forward. And maybe they afforded him too much time and respect, Elmo. Now they've just leveled him to reserve grade material. That's what it looks like.
No, I look. I think that's harsh. I don't think that's the case. I
am now thinking, Elmo. I had a thought to myself today. The guy's been made to look good. You can play behind an awesome forward or awesome team, and you're made to look better than you actually are. So when the team's not performing, you got nothing to offer all of a sudden, and that's what I'm seeing with him. What rabbit out of the hat is he going to be able to pull out of you guys? Because he showed me nothing in the last 4 to 6 weeks. It is absolutely worrying how he's gone from being this nice asset for 25 minutes when he comes on to now what's he even doing there? Should he even be in the 17? Why doesn't Cam? Salmon's just been having average game after average game and still finds himself starting. Like, why?
Yeah, I agree.
What's he going to bring against Penrith?
I agree with you.
Elmer, he played in a premiership win, but come on, man, they carried him there. We would have put myself in that 17 for Penrith.
I agree, 100%.
And I'd be a premiership winner.
Bro, the thing is, I can't disagree with you about Sam.
Like, he's tinkering, but he's tinkering. All right, you want to tinker with someone like that's been average, like Salmon. So many times he could have put someone in that starting lock position.
See, you want to fight with me, but I actually agree with you.
It's just my emotion coming out, but you know what?
Yeah,
27 rounds. Yeah, go on. I'll let you go ahead because I just want to add something after you've talked. Yeah.
No, keep going. Sorry, I keep interjecting. Sorry, it's my fault.
Do you remember about Elmo? Do you remember about 2 months ago, and you were quite riled up at the time? And I said, listen, and at the time I said the business end of the season starts in the last 6 to 8 rounds of the year. I said if the Dogs aren't going to pull their socks, because you weren't happy that I was saying, look, what the Dogs are doing now ain't going to work. But this is it. The last 6 to 8 rounds, it's now, I've got to go to another level. We got to make the finals. And the Dogs sat comfortable. Well, he started tinkering as well, unfortunately. And I just got complacent. But this is it. Salmon, what he was playing at, what teams were playing at in the first 16 rounds, at the sort of intensity and all that, Salmon was thriving. But in the last 6 to 8 rounds, the intensity they play at, people like Salmon become null and void. Honestly, the Dogs need to bring the rage. They need to bring the rage. Like Tupanua, when he started most of his career at the Roosters, he brings the rage. Do you start him at lock? Do you start him or do you start Man? I've always seen this. Whenever he puts Man and Tupanua on, it's like a double punch. In defense, they hit together and they hit with venom. In attack, they hit the line with venom and they seem to hit in unison or right after each other. But I feel like one of them needs to start to have that venom from the get-go. You know, like I understand Tupanua can't start in the second row because you got Preston and you got Kikau. You know, but people forgetting for about 5 years, Tupanua, or 5 or 6 years, was starting at the Roosters in the second row and he gave you venom. Man, when he busts the line, he shoots through. Like he's extremely quick. But man, for me, like everyone's been asking this question. Brian, Brad, Eddie, for God's sake, and Norm. You know, and yourself have questioned it, and many people on the street have questioned it. How the hell? And I'll reiterate this again. I don't care how many times I'm repetitive, but how does a Queensland state representative stay on the bench for someone like Salmon? And I'm talking about Kurt Mann here. And every time he comes on, the game changes. But how much game time is he getting? Real limited. This is a guy that should be getting 60 minutes at the least. The guy could play a whole game. Why am I getting Mr. I want to call him Perpetual Motion, but it's an insult to Ray Price because Ray Price made things happen. Why does Mr. Statue of Liberty or a plant or a pot, whatever you want to call him in Salmon, play 60, 70 minutes to get me 25 minutes consistently meters game for maybe 15 or 20 tackles, for maybe 10 tackles missed to get probably smashed in about 5 to 10 of those tackles? Like Dan Laurie a few weeks ago decked him and he plays fullback. What venom is he bringing? We're in the finals, for God's sake. We're not in round 1 to 16 where I need a workhorse. That's gone now. Like, come on, Cam. You got to see this. You're in your third season of footy. You've made the finals. You're a former first grader. You're a nice guy. We all like you, but come on, man. You got to make those tough calls. I honestly hope he springs the surprise in that last hour, and as he did last week, relegate some of the starters out of the 17. I hope Salmon's one of the ones out of the 17, and I won't complain if Hayward's one of the other ones out of the 17. There is some guys I thought he needs to bring venom. Like that Penrith team, they don't stop coming at you. Sure, they've lost James Fisher-Harris. Sure, they've lost, other forwards over, and players in the last 5 years, like consistently. But they still come at you. They're the consummate professionals. You need to be able to bash their forward.
I'm with you. I agree with everything you've said, except the Hayward part. I don't agree that
Hayward... Fight me, Elmo.
No, I don't think so.
Because he's a ginger like you? Because you always seem to You always said to have a soft spot for gingers, like the same way you had for Fatty Vorden.
No, I hate
Yeah, let's
Fatty.
hear this.
Even that ginger ref, what's his name, Todd Smith or whatever. I reckon he's yeah, I don't like.
Or is it that Goff? Goff's a red hair, isn't he?
Is it? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
All right, let's hear your take on Hayward. Hopefully the boys, hopefully the boys bash you for this, but let's go. Let's hear this.
All right. Salmon shouldn't be anywhere near the first grade team. I agree with you 100%. If you look at some of the other teams that even have bigger forward packs than us, they've got players like Tino starting at lock. Broncos have Carrigan starting at lock. If you look at the Raiders, I think I'm not sure who's their lock. Is it Morgan Smithies? I have to check who they've named at lock. But every team...
Morgan Smithies is the fraud for me. But anyways, we can talk about the other games after we cover... every
single team... Oh, no, they've got Corey Horsburgh at 13, right? Sharks have Jesse Colquhoun.
Oh, what a game that's going to
be. Every team seems to get that. Panthers have Isaiah Yeo. Every team seems to get that the lock needs to be hardworking, needs to play, 50 to 60 minutes at the very least, right? Needs to be able to play, defend, needs to be able to pass the ball, needs to be able to make meters, right? And the fact that we've got Salmon there playing 25 minutes, making 20 tackles in the beginning of the game, that is a weak link. That is genuinely, I think what's ruining the whole team. Because if you get rid of Salmon and you put a Curran there, you put a Daniel Saluka Fafita there, not actually a traditional lock position, just have another prop there, like the Titans do with what's it called? With someone like Tina Fasumanawi. Have another forward there because we have a small bench. Well, we have a small pack, right? So if you have like a King, Curran, Daniel Saluka Fafita at the 3 props, and then you've got Kikau and Preston there, right? Burton in attack can be the roaming lock if we need him to. If he starts at center, it solves a lot of those problems, right? But it's never going to happen. That's the problem. He's never ever going to. It's never ever.
How many utilities do you want? How many utilities do you want?
We have
Hayward. I don't get it. Sexton was chosen to play utility last week. I swear to God, like it's by default that things ended up correct. He got him on to be a utility. Like guys never played hooker or utility. He's played out and out halfback, and he chose him ahead of Marnie. And Marnie was on the cusp of Origin selection. So you had Hayward and Sexton both ahead of him, and Sexton as a utility, but he has Man as a utility, he has Salmon as a utility. Probably even has Curran as a utility, but Curran started. And then by default, because Critter unfortunately got injured, right? And then Tuala went down, and God knows how many of your players went down. And still, and I'll guarantee you they're playing injured. There's about 3 of them. And then by default, we ended up a halfback to only realise, oh, shit. And you almost had a second, by the way. You almost busted the line twice.
Shit. The dummy almost worked, bro. That was the dummy almost worked. I swear, Zatar and I were going crazy, bro. We're like, we can't believe after all this time.
And I'll say it now, you blew it. You should have won the game. Melbourne were holding their breath, and you blew it. And do you get the same opportunity this week? I don't know.
On the right-hand side? On the
left as well, he's blew it. Like, both sides was up the middle. Like, Melbourne were defending for their life. He's blew it. Well, I'm not even going to turn and say Man kicked early. All right, Man's allowed to. And he didn't even make a mistake. He put it deep in. The chase wasn't ready for it. Wasn't the right choice. But I don't get it. He's still butchering. Ciraldo, sorry, I said Galvin. But Ciraldo is still butchering his selections. To show you further, you told me you got a small forward pack. What's the guy that plays reserve grade, but he's blooded in first grade this year, but broke his arm?
Jack Todd.
No, Jack Todd. He's not small. What's the other blonde-haired guy that almost played first grade this year, but never got a look in this year? Jack Underhill. Another big bopper. Can you name his? You got Daniel Saluka Fafita, and he played. He played when he played well. You got the other guy. He played a few games for you. A Polynesian fella.
Lipoi
Hopoi. That's 4 big bodies. I haven't even gone into your reserve grade. There's some other guys that probably could have.
Hang on a second.
Why didn't his blood and more see more game time more? Stick and choose. What is he, Paul McGregor?
Bill Sand has mentioned this name multiple times in the podcast, and I have to say he was on, like, I was mentioning him last week when the team got chosen. Curtis Morin. Bro, Curtis Morin, even though he's small, he has the drive, he has the leg speed, and he has the mongrel.
I'll choose him ahead of Salmon. In a heartbeat.
He would be so good for us.
He's double the player that Salmon is. He defends better, hits better. Why is Salmon ahead of him?
Well, I actually think he'll make a great lock. He can play the...
he would. And he's got a low center of gravity. It's a lot better for him to get low and tackle people. It's an advantage.
What's the small forward? What's the small forward's name up in the Cowboys? He plays for Origin. Morin can play that type of...
is that the prop? They can play prop. He's got long blonde hair.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Ruben Cotter.
Yeah, Ruben Cotter.
And he's even shorter than Cotter.
I reckon Morin can start at lock and play a Cotter role. I genuinely believe that, and I've always said that there's so many similarities. Morin defends well, defends hard. He runs hard. He's very fit. Like, if he was to start at 13 and play as a prop, don't worry about playing him as a link man. Play him as a freaking prop. Then you swap him with man, bro. Like, that would be absolutely fantastic. I think that as prop, he will be so great for the team. While I have you guys here, we have 67 people on the live. Please, if I can just get you guys on YouTube to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't chatting. If you're in the background, please be sure to subscribe. If you are on Facebook, come to YouTube.
Is Morin, sorry, Elmo, Morin's in the 22, isn't he? Or 23, or let's say the 24. Not?
No, not this week.
Is it too late to still bring him in?
Yeah, unless we get NRL dispensation, we won't be able to name him.
I really want a lot from a guy that doesn't follow the Dogs, but I've got a vested interest in the Dogs because they're the neighbouring team, and a lot of people that follow the Dogs. And I've seen the excitement the Dogs fans bring when they win. I've seen it. Like, I don't want them out this week. If they're out this week, I want to see Belmore go off in the finals. Like, I really want to see it erupt post game because I know we'll get partying for the entirety of the week. So from that night, it probably won't clock off till early hours of the morning. But we know the following week to all the way they go up to Brisbane. You'll be playing Brisbane, and that's going to be awesome. There'll be surely 10,000. I mean, if how many tickets do the away fans get allocated for finals? Does anyone know? I hope it's not first in, first served because, Brisbane will go botch it.
Because it's finals. Because it's finals, none are allocated. Like, they have sections, but you can buy as many.
I hope they don't go botch it. I hope the Broncos don't go botch it and then try to get 50,000 on their own, only 2,000 Dogs. Because I honestly think if the Dogs can make the prelim, you'll get at least 10 to 15,000 from Sydney going up to Suncorp. That's not including all the Dogs fans that live in Queensland. So I reckon you guys could have a parochial 20,000 strong Bulldogs fans up there, and it'll feel like he's got more fans there.
Yeah,
he's a very loud and vocal.
Bro, I reckon this week, this may seem like I'm exaggerating. Honestly, this may seem like I'm exaggerating, but I actually reckon this week, if we can get 65, 70,000 Bulldogs fans there, that could be the thing that gets the Bulldogs over the line against the Panthers. Because I'll tell you what, no matter what you think, no matter what you believe, right? The Bulldogs against the Storm proved that we are better than people are giving us credit for. And if we go this weekend with the same attitude, I promise you, the Panthers, if they take us even 5% lightly, we will mangle them. Like the last time we played.
It's finals, Elmo. Say the Dogs won't win, and I refuse to say it. I have refused to say you won't win. It is finals. It is unfair to say on you guys, you won't win. I did tip a tough game against Melbourne in a close game, and it was all that. And albeit I didn't tip you guys, but you guys should have won. And it is absolutely wrong to write off the Dogs this week. It is going to be another epic tussle. If he's bringing the rage, he can beat these guys. I mean, he's already beat it once this year, but yeah, the other game was a belter of a game. They don't have Mitch Kenny, and they're not in their 13 yet either. So,
but he is named on the 23. He's a week-to-week prospect.
Yeah,
right.
That's going to be interesting to see what happens.
So just quickly, Zatar is asking, is everyone here going to the Riff game? I'm going to put a poll up quickly to see who is and isn't going. Because I do want to see, who is going. By the way, they released $10 tickets for this game.
Yeah, you put that up. I saw that.
Yeah, I was shocked that they because it wasn't I actually don't think this was a Bulldogs or a Panthers thing. This was a Ticket Tech thing. This was an NRL thing, right?
Do they just want to get 83,000? Is that how the stadium fits? 83?
Well, I think the record for semi-finals was the Dogs versus Eels in 2009. I think it was 75,000 or something like that. So I think they're trying to break that record. And honestly, I reckon they'll do it. I reckon this week we'll break it. Like I reckon we'll have 75,000 people there. At least we'll have 75,000 because the weather's going to be good. I think tickets are cheap. It's all on the line. Like the thing is, and I've got this in the title that the Bulldogs fans can create history this week. And we can create history in so many ways, right? Like, so this week, the potential for, number one, for us to break records when it comes to, for us to break records in terms of number of fans there. Like, we held the record alongside the Eels in 2009. We can break that record, but also we can end the streak. We can end the Panthers streak, which again will be something that we can hang our cap on for a very long time if we do it. Like there's so many storylines. There's so many storylines in this game, and every one of them is going to be great. Every single one of them is going to be great, and that's why I think like the fans this week, we're going to be more important, I reckon, than we've ever been. Because if you imagine, like, if the Dogs get out there, they walk from the Pullman to the stadium, and there's 30,000 Dogs fans waiting for them there. Then they go into the stadium, and there's 65, 70,000 Bulldogs fans screaming them home. It just adds a whole lot more to the team than I think we realize. And so that's why I'm like, bruh, I think everybody's got to be there. I think everyone's got to be there this weekend. Are you are you in agreement with me that the fans can actually make a huge difference this week?
Oh, bloody oath. If you guys get knowing Penrith, they'll probably get about 10,000 of their fans, which is a good achievement. Still going. They do live in Mexico. Like, have you driven to Penrith?
Yeah.
My God, if I was in Europe, I think I'd pass 3 countries from where I live. No kidding. Like, same thing with you. I still think they'll get 10, 15,000. We'll give them benefit of about 20,000. That's a lot, I reckon. But I reckon there's going to be at least 60,000 Bulldogs fans. It is going to be hostile out there. Champion Penrith team. I love and admire this Penrith team. And I love to see them do 6 in a row, like something. Even 4 in a row is a privilege. But I love this Penrith team. But the Dogs, if they make it hostile for them, they can be up against it. The immortal Penrith team.
Hey, if it's gonna if it's gonna end sometime, it's gonna end sometime. And why not end with us? Right? Why not end with us? So I do want to talk a little bit about the refereeing, because Zatar's just said, Klein will be the ref. That refereeing performance by Adam G, I don't like blaming referees. I don't like saying that we lost because of this guy or that guy or whatever. But I think that Adam G's performance was really bad. We didn't lose because of Adam G. I don't want to go that far. But that penalty that he gave against Kikau, where he didn't even hit the head, I thought was absolutely pathetic. And one of the problems that caused is that put us under pressure at the back end of the game when we were sort of struggling and we were down by 2 points. I just don't get how you can make those errors. And it's disappointing because we've got Klein. We've got Klein this week again, which I mean, I don't know.
Oh my God! You know what? I saw that today. I said, "My God, this guy's going to find a way to make a clanger. He's going to find a way to rip off one team. I don't know whether he sides with the Dogs or the Panthers or whether he screws over both teams. He's a walking headline. I still don't know how he gets the big and important games. They had to just find a way to give him the Canberra and Brisbane game. Could you believe it? It was the best of the finals. But why? Why does he always get the big games or the important games or the Origin or the Grand Final? And it's just he's always laced with controversy. Always. He's always got to make some sort of clanger. And it's not one clanger. It's just repeated clanger. And it generally just favours one side. Why?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I don't even know that, Tiam. Is that true? Can somebody fact check? I don't even know that he was a son of a former Panthers player.
I wasn't aware either. Just quickly, we've had some super chats come through that I just saw now. So firstly, $15 from Dib while he's on the live. Bulldogs fans are the GOAT. Yeah, especially when we win. One thing I want to say.
I want to see a big party this week. You know what? I want to see a big party Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. The Dogs fans in their cars with their flags waving. They used to do it more often. Like I don't see them anymore.
Can I just say?
I don't live in the area, but I used to come down towards Brighton and that, and I'd always see them there.
As harsh as this sounds, I actually reckon one thing I've realised about Dockies fans is we're the biggest bandwagoners. Like,
whoa! Don't bring some hate on yourself, mate.
Bro,
don't bring some hate. I'm just loving you. Don't you dare.
No.
Bro, you know what? It's good. I'll jump on the bandwagon.
If you're sitting at Tuesday night at 8:00, 8:30 on a Kennel podcast, during the finals, you're not a bandwagoner. But I'm saying a large swath of the fandom, unless we win, a lot of it is they're sort of uninterested. And I'm not actually blaming any fan. I'm not saying
let's not throw shit on your own fans. Come on, man.
Bro. I love the fans. You don't understand. I love.
What do you mean, Eddie? Eddie, how can you agree with him? Far out. You know what? I don't care. I'll give you an example. Cronulla plays shit, plays good. They still get 12,000.
Yeah, but
while even in the NRL.
Yeah, but we don't want to compare ourselves to.
I'm just saying. You know what? Don't judge a team about how they're going ordinary. Judge them when they're going good. If they didn't look, most teams if they're going good will get about 20,000, right? The Dogs didn't get 20,000. How much did they get?
We've got
80,000, 70,000, 60,000.
Yeah,
don't go call them bandwagoners.
No, I agree with you.
I reckon this is broken new territory. I reckon going forward, a few games a year, it will be the norm for you guys to get 60,000 plus. I reckon the new norm for Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, and I will call them by their full name, is to start averaging 30,000 plus every year. Like it would be awesome to give them a CommBank where Belmore is. Smack bang. That would be so awesome.
Hey, I'm going to make a bold statement, Dibbo. Even though I just said our fans are bandwagoners, I'm going to predict that next year, if we stay winning, we are going to get, in my opinion, we're going to average 40,000 fans per game. That's
man. You know what? For a stadium like that, every day of the week, the NRL should be offering $10, $15, $20 tickets even if they want to go that high. Every day of the week. You know, like there was 19. What were they originally offering? $19 for a finals game. Fan-fucking-tastic. Sorry to swear.
Right. Yeah, that's
right. But fucking oath, pack it out. Make it an atmosphere. A full arena. Can you imagine? Like, it just kills the vibe. You know what? And you know what? The top tier ones can be the cheap ones. Because I guarantee you people are going to want to, fill up what's in the best seating first. And people just want to be there screaming on their team. They couldn't exactly care about their view. Because when I go to Bulldogs games, I think I pointed out before, I went to about how many did I go at CommBank? I mean, at Allianz or Accor, sorry. I went to about half a dozen. You know where I sat almost every time besides the St. George game? And the Al Asil restaurant. So I had a nice fed of Lebanese food and I just watched the game from the restaurant. Man, the atmosphere was amazing because me and one of the regulars is not on today, who's 87, and he's a Broncos fan. I remember one game we were bantering with the Dogs fans. They wanted to get us out of the restaurant and throw us to the wolves. Because they were giving it to us when it was 18-0 or something like. Remember, and then remember the comeback. My God, who's 87? That comeback, my God.
Don't remind me, bro. Don't remind me.
I went there for the Para game when there was about 70,000. That was insane. Again, I watched from the restaurant. I went half a dozen. I love the atmosphere. I love it when you guys pack it out, 60, 70,000. Like, can you imagine going to Cogra Oval and getting 8,000 because it's pissing down rain?
Yeah, when we played the Dolphins,
I feel sorry for St. Look, St. George's average attendance is about 13K, but in about 3/4 of their game this year at Cogra and Wollongong backs onto the ocean, and Cogra it backs onto Botany Bay, not exactly, but on that hillside, there's nothing protecting you from the elements, so the wind and rain comes in.
True,
I can understand most families not wanting to come, like diehards myself. I got a poncho on, I got an umbrella, sure. And I just want to sit there having a coffee because I want to get out of the house, but not everyone's going to be the same.
Mm.
Like, sure, suburban grounds are great, but not when the weather's atrocious. I love to have another CommBank stadium built where Cogra is and have the Sharks, the Dragons, and maybe Souths play out of there, although I still think South should eventually get to Allianz. I don't know how the Roosters... That is bullshit on that topic. How are they not allowed to go play Allianz?
The Roosters game. I was going to bring that topic up.
That is absolutely ridiculous. They don't know that stadium.
The text messages between Brandon Smith and Victor Adley came out, and it's very damning. But we'll get to it after. I want to call out High Def Dirty, $8 super chat. Was there anything you wanted to say, High Def? I really appreciate the support.
I want to go back to talking about I want to go back to bashing the team. Anyway, can we talk about the lineup this week? What are we talking about next?
Clyde is a Panthers fan, a son of a Panther player.
Detective Tiam. So I had no idea. That's insane. What about the? I was about to say, what about the video ref? Who's that?
I'm not sure. I can check. Me, Normie, Coketex, Radley's bad. Who's coming to Vegas? Yeah, look, I just want to say quickly, like we. Excuse me. I
haven't booked my Vegas yet, so
no, yeah.
Geez, I got to book early. I've been willing to give 6 months notice at work now. Told me you got to give 6 months notice going forward. Anyway,
yeah. So Klein, like that performance he had with the Broncos and the Raiders was so shit. Like, bro, like how did Hudson Young get suspended? I don't know. How did Hudson? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
You know what? Can I just point out something? I'm just happy Reece Washington suspended. And that frog Buzz Rothfield wants to have a whine in the papers, but when his player did a hip drop from Cronulla, not even a mouth fart out of him. And mind you, we wanted Nico Hines to get off.
Bro, I tagged him on Twitter.
I hate getting like you need an NFL. You rarely ever see a player get suspended in the NFL. Rarely.
Why is so
only rugby league? It's just so easy to suspend players.
There's been 47 votes and 51% of you guys are not going. Why are you guys not going to the game this week?
Well, think about it. Jamie lives in. Jamie and Brian. Right. Myself was one of the voters. So I'm going to probably do a live watch along. So if I do a live watch along, he's going to probably see my emotion. I could be following the Panthers, guys. I could turn on you. We don't know yet.
Not in the kennel. Not on the kennel. Sorry, brother. If you're doing a live watch along,
I want to watch it. I want to do it from the kennel so they can see the co-host, whether he's a turncoat or not, or whether he's going to follow the dogs.
We shall see. On the kennel.
I'm just going to be all emotion, and I'll give my thoughts as the game's going. 100%. That's what I'm going to do.
Watch out for that. We'll get that organised for Sunday, so Dibbo can. You guys can watch along with Dibbo. Now, so yeah, again, we've got 64 people here, so please just give this video a thumbs up and make sure to share this and to subscribe. So, like, I'm going to wrap up the Melbourne game, like, with probably one word, and I'll just say, like, I think the team proved everybody wrong. They deserved to win. That was a fantastic performance by the Bulldogs, and we give ourselves every chance to win the game this weekend against the Panthers. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the team that was named. So, Let me just bring the graphic up. Dibba, have you had a chance to look at the team?
Only briefly. I mean, fortunately, one of my clients, he's from the UK, and I spent a lot of time on the phone with her today. Like, yeah, she's quite the demanding one. Her property's up for sale, so, well, she's got a prospective buyer, and yeah, unfortunately, she's at the paranoid stage. So, the paranoid stage. Anyways, I pulled some strings for her, so yeah, I didn't really get to look at it. Although I did see Jethro Rinakama on the wing. What does Blake Wilson need to do to have a game?
Yeah,
they said to play everyone but Blake Wilson. Is Rinakama going to play, or is he going to be a late withdrawal? Gents, who's got inside info? Eddie, Norm, Bill? Anyone?
Sorry, I just very quickly. I just MK. Where is it? MKTV wrote. Where is he?
I'm just having a look here. Look at this bench. Harry Hayes. All right, Harry Hayes is there. Sam Hughes out of the 17 again. I like Curran starting. I think he's really good starting. Marcelo Montoya. Is that just to make up the 23 or the 22, Elmo? Just to put him there? God's sake, Jake Turpin's an out-and-out hooker. If you're going to play someone as a backup hooker to Reed Barney, it's Jake Turpin. Like, what are they playing at? The guy's never played hooker his whole life. He hasn't shown anything drastic to warrant him being a hooker. And I'm back to referring to Haywood again. If you wanted to do this experiment, you do it from the start of the year. Not in the back quarter of the season, Elmo.
So, I want to talk about the Dogs team, right? That back line is great. I think Bronson Sherry is good to have there. I think Bronson Sherry will step up in the live game. Obviously, Burton at right center at this point. Oh no, he's named on the left. So what is Bronson playing on the right? That's a bit strange. Bronson usually plays on the left.
Here we go. The Tinker Man's back. Anyways,
yeah.
But hang on a sec. No. But at Cronulla, he actually used to play on the right.
Did he?
Remember he had that? Yes, I remember him on the right, and he had amazing footwork. The right side's actually his stronger side. You know what I don't understand? At Penrith, this is odd. At Penrith, Critter used to play on the left.
No, he used to change. Remember when?
Do you remember against Brisbane, he scored a try on the left side off Cleary?
No. So against the Broncos, he played on the left, but in the grand final in 2021 against the Rabbitohs, he played on the right. Remember, he took the intercept from the right hand side. He was at center on the right.
It was on the wing. He was on the wing. He played on the wing in that game.
Well, I mean, he can play left or right. Yeah,
he
can play left or right.
I reckon. But Sherry used to play on the right side for Cronulla. And he was in New South Wales talks whilst playing on the right side. Do you remember he was blitzing people on the right with that footwork of his?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I think he's about 10 kilos too heavy. I'd love to see him slim down by about 10 kilos and get the rocket Sherry that we all know.
That's what they did to Fox last year, and then he went to the Eels this year, and he's lost all this weight. And
that's what Sherry's got to work on that. He's got his strength now, but drop the weight, please.
Speed. Yeah, he needs to.
Please, he's got phenomenal footwork and a palm. You saw it. You know how he cut back in and scored that. He cut back in. I think it was against the Warriors. He scored those 2 tries or something, but broke his nose at the same time. Was it the Warriors, Elmo?
Manly,
yeah. But you saw it when he can put it on. Wow, I just feel like he needs to lose about 10 kilos, 5 to 10 kilos anyway.
Yeah. Eddie's made a great point, actually. I think he said numbers mean nothing these days. Kira's on the right, but where's 2? Oh, look, I agree with you, and I think at this point, I think Kira's just needs to play. He needs to stay on the right outside, outside Sherry. I actually think Sherry and Kiraz could make a great combo. I would love to see how they perform this weekend. I reckon it'll be a great combo. Having Burton there on the left with Rinakama, that's exciting to see, because I thought Rinakama was fantastic on Friday night against the Storm. I thought they put him under a lot of pressure. They tried to target him a couple of, he was able to make some tackles. after some breaks. So I'm actually really excited about seeing Burton and Rinakama link up on that left-hand side, especially there with Kikau, considering that, he will play.
We got a Hayward in the comments section. Now I'm shitting my pants. Should I be talking about Bailey Hayward? Any negativity? Mr. David Hayward, do you just want to own up if you're related or not? I'm just on paranoid level now. Sorry, mate. We don't want to upset anyone, but yeah.
Seeing here. Brian Dib, I just want to call Brian Dib. I'm going to make these new Korean noodles I got last night and watch this podcast. It's going to be a great next 10 minutes of my life. Bro, that actually makes me so happy to hear that you're going to be eating some really, really nice noodles.
I think he was only referring to the noodles, not us. Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
Oh, my God. Hey, this is the biggest call this is a massive call. MKTV has really gone and said something.
Remember I jokingly said. Do you remember I jokingly said the Dogs have found their winning formula without Critter? That was insane. No, they knew. Honestly, you know what it was? It was wounded Bulldogs. They knew they had to lift. Without their inspirational leader, they knew shit. We're in the mud now. We're in an actual dog fight, as you want to call it. They knew they had to go that extra level. Actually, you know what? It actually worked in their favour. I'm not going to lie. I'd rather have him in the 17. I'm not going to lie.
You don't actually believe that the team was better without Critter, though, right? You don't actually believe that.
No, I told you I would never. I'll definitely have him in the 13. Bloody hell, if the guy's an out-and-out superstar. I'm just saying for some reason. It's what I said. The wounded Bulldogs, though, knew they were in a dogfight. They knew they had to. They knew. They knew they had to go all out. They knew there was no one he wasn't there to lift them out. It actually worked positively, but it wouldn't work every week. Because then they'll get used to him not being there and they'll get complacent and yeah.
MKTV watches the game with a guide dog. He gets the dog to bark what's happening on the TV
You're a bastard. Who said that? Who honestly said that? You bastard. You bastard. How could you say that? Look, I'm just going to point out there. Yes, I did say you guys should have won last week, but I just want to point out something. I know it might sound controversial. I know you probably get cut, but Melbourne were absolute dog shit. So if you think you guys are going to win playing the same way last week, that this week, think again. Like Melbourne weren't crash hot either, but they went and won by 3 tries. Penrith, weren't crash hot either, but they went and won by 3 tries. Melbourne were rubbish last week. They were. And it wasn't exactly solely down to you guys. They were just rubbish. They couldn't string a good 10 to 15 minutes. They could only probably string a good 10 to 15 minutes. And that was it. And then they'd be garbage. And then in the second half, they must have been garbage for about half an hour. Honestly, Elmo, he's got to lift another. You can't play the same way he's played last week and expect to beat Penrith. Hell no. He's got to put in a flawless 60, 70 minutes at least. You think Penrith's going to put in a crap game? They weren't nothing special last week, but they weren't ordinary either. They weren't crap.
I think our styles ultimately, they're a better style to play against for the Bulldogs than any other team. I think. Look, the Storm are the same, right?
Blink and you're down by 3 tries. With Penrith, blink and you're down by 3 tries.
No, I want to be there.
I don't want to get cocky.
But let's talk about something. Realistically speaking, realistically speaking, how likely is Critter to play? Genuinely, how likely is Critter to play?
Honestly, this is my honest thoughts now. As much chance as Drew Hutchison has playing on the weekend. That's a syndesmosis, Elmo. Well, what's he going to play in the moon boot? Come on, Elmo. What's he going to... The lateral, and I did remember how many times I was telling you Kiraz was going to play because I've had that injury many times. And for the record, Kiraz could have probably played the following week. You can play with a lateral. You can play with a lateral, but a syndesmosis, man, he's going to have no strength off it. He's going to have no strength coming off it.
Well, I'm just putting up a poll up. If you guys think will Critter play?
Mugwes, for us as a success in the preliminary, not necessarily. The fact that I still reckon he should have finished top 2, but he's capitulated late. The fact that he's finished 3rd from where he were a couple of years ago is already a success for me. Obviously, and they butchered it. It still is a success, but they've got the culture there where they do things right. They do all the 1%ers right. They do the basics right. They've got to implement that, obviously, and hopefully get the right mix next year from the get-go. If he wants to be Mr. Tinkerman, it's got to be from round 1. Not, it's got to be early part of the season. It's not going to be in round 20 and ruin the whole dynamic of the team, because that backfired. But it has been, to me, it's been a success. I'm not a Bulldogs fan, but the way I said a few years ago, when Elmo was about to bash everyone on every podcast and you couldn't talk to him for days afterwards, to now, like Elmo, I'll tell you now, Elmo would honestly switch on the TV. Have it this way, Elmo will wake up on a Monday every week and expect to win that week. No kidding. Like the guy, and I hadn't seen him be this cocky in a while, maybe since 2014 or 2012 rather. But the guy was honestly starting to think they'll go the whole season undefeated. That's what the Dogs did to him.
So, all right, I agree with Magas though. I think that if we go out of the finals in straight sets, that would not only be disappointing, but I reckon it will be a bit of a failure. That's genuinely how I
come third. If I was a St. George fan, to come third, oh man, can only wish. Can only dream.
I'm with you, but we have it in us. Albeit it won't be a massive failure. It will just still be a failure. Look, I'm with you, but you also
are ahead. You are actually ahead. Where he's
doesn't matter. No, I'm with you. I'm the biggest fan of saying don't forget what you went through, but you've also got to take it into account what we could achieve, what we could have achieved, and could we have done things differently and achieved better results? I do agree. I agree with Magas.
I'm hanging to go for the team.
Agree. I'm 100% agreeing with Magas here.
Are we going to go? I want to go for the teams. Yes, go for the super chats. I want to go for the teams, and I want to call the key outs and ins.
Just quickly, Brad Cambridge sent another a $5 super chat. We need Toilet Boy as our fullback. Can even headbutt and still all good by NRL. His career best form, Walshy. Look, I agree. I think Walsh has been fantastic. I would love to have someone with even half his talent. And I think why they've been so good with Walshy back there is because Ben Hunt has just taken a step back and let Walsh take control of the team. You can clearly see this is Walsh's team.
Connor Tracy was amazing for you guys last week.
I thought he was fantastic, but he doesn't have the same attacking flair that Reece Walsh does.
Well, tell him to go headbutt someone. Maybe he will. Anyway.
Yeah, like Walsh has the kicking, he's got the passing, he's got the running. He may not have the defense, or the positional play or whatever, but that's all right. He doesn't need to have it. The amount he brings in attack is ridiculous. I will say, though, the Broncos did get very lucky. The Raiders faded against the Broncos like they did against us. Any sustained pressure from a team, and they seem to buckle. They can't reverse momentum, and they didn't have a good plan for Reece Walsh. I think that's why Brisbane were able to come back. They didn't really have a good plan for Reece Walsh, and I think any team that wants to beat the Broncos needs to plan on limiting Reece Walsh's damage. But yeah, having a fullback like Reece Walsh, even nominally like Reece Walsh, would be absolutely insane. Another super chat by John Sard. The Oracle has spoken. No one expects.
I love that name, the Oracle.
Dogs win.
The Oracle, I love that. The Canberra Fighters. Brian's gone on the offensive. How good was that? Elmo, I heard you were fanboying the Broncos on the weekend.
I wasn't.
I actually witnessed it. I actually witnessed that first account.
No. Hang on a second. Hang on.
All right.
I don't think. Listen, I don't think that I wasn't fanboying.
Here he goes. He's gathered himself.
I just think that that was the best game of rugby league we've ever seen, and I think
best game ever.
After the Opal Grand Final, the amount of drama in that game, the amount of the roller coaster.
What about the grand final 2 years ago when Cleary came back in the last 15? Cleary, not Penrith, Cleary. Or Penrith, anyway.
I think it's up there. I think it's up there, but this had even more drama. I think this had a lot more drama. And that's why I think this game was up there. Look, maybe not the best game, but definitely up in the top 3.
Wow, that's your. Everyone's got a favourite game over the years. Nice. I could tell you mine, but not.
What's yours?
Not NRL. It was when I was a kid.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, 94 Ashes tour, first test. First time I got the. I remember 94. Got up early in the morning. Sean Edwards got sent off for Great Britain. High tackle on Bradley Clyde, and we still went and lost the game at Wembley in front of about 100,000 fans. That was the first time I've seen a crowd so big. It was daunting. It was a British crowd. It was like, for me, it was Test football. It was the pinnacle of rugby league. Back then, Test footy was good. That was the best game I ever watched, and it was pulsating. They won 8-4. And Mal Meninga, Australia's best ever Test player.
Insane.
He got Australia out of jail in those last 2 games. Anyways, sorry, I started glazing there, but yeah,
that's right. Let's talk a little bit about the team. Luke Wiskowski, it can't be a Panthers Broncos grand final, just because obviously they're going to face the Broncos.
Canberra's still in it. Canberra's still there. Cronulla,
I don't know.
I don't think. Oh, you know what? They're playing Brisbane, mate. Whoever wins has got a massive chance.
I don't think Broncos.
They're playing Melbourne. Sorry, they're playing Melbourne.
Yeah. No, I don't think Broncos or Raiders make the grand final. That's my honest opinion.
Broncos or Raiders. So are you thinking Melbourne and the winner between the Dogs and Penrith?
I am, honestly. I am. I'm thinking if whoever wins next week goes to the grand final. I don't think, because the Broncos are going to be missing Carrigan. They're going to be missing Billy Walters. We'll talk about that after. Talk about that. Let's.
Haven't downgraded Carrigan? They never tried?
No, they've accepted it. Yeah.
All right. That's a massive loss.
All right. So Connor Tracy, Jacob Kiraz, Bronson Sherry, Matt Burton, Ratu Rinakama. Look, all things considered, I actually think that's a fantastic backline. I think Rinakama has earned his spot, especially after their game in Melbourne. I think he will be this week. He should be up against another Bulldogs
Burton. Burton plays in his natural position, and don't forget he played rep footy. What a luxury! Just what he's right? What a luxury!
Yeah, so Rinakama will come up against Alamotti, which I think is a great. It's a great lineup. It's a great match. I hope. So Eddie is saying that Montoya will come in for Jethro. I hope he doesn't, but I also don't mind it, because I think Montoya. The only reason I hope he doesn't is because I don't want him to be playing at 50%. I want Montoya to be playing at 100%. But if he does come in, I won't be too disappointed. I will be upset for Rinakama, but Montoya will be great. Galvin Sexton at halfback, Galvin Sexton in the halves. I think it's a great combo. Sexton, I think, was good last week, not great. I think too many people were glazing him for his performance. I think one of the kicks he had went out on the full, and the Storm scored from that era. So you got to temper your expectations.
I'll reiterate. He's not. I'll still stick by what I said. He's not your long-term, medium-term half, I don't think. But for this year, I thought he should have seen out the year in the 7. And I'm not expecting him to still be the saviour, but the team played with him for about 18 to 20 rounds, and they had won about 85% of the games. I didn't believe that needed to change.
Yeah. Look, I'm with you. I like. Yeah, I don't know, man. We've gone over this so much. I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, I reckon Toby Sexton will have a great game. I think. Wouldn't it be funny, bro? Wouldn't it be funny if Sexton comes out and has a man of the match performance, wins the game against Nathan Cleary? Like, can you imagine he comes out and he fucking brains it, and then everyone's just like,
look. Whilst that happens, I hope Hayward and Salmon do have another garbage game, so we can eliminate the weak links in the team. Because if they have an average, and I don't want them to have an average game or a crap game, Because if that was to happen, they'll then get carried into the prelims. Gotta get rid of the deadwood. Can't expect people to take you for a ride. They offered nothing last week. They've offered nothing for the last month of footy.
Look, you're being harsh on Hayward. I think Max King needs to pull his finger out.
Hayward done? Why am I being harsh? What's he done the last few weeks?
Hayward had 65 tackle attempts. He made 51 tackles. He went through a few scoots. I didn't think Hayward was the problem. Again, I didn't think Hayward. It was our injuries. I thought if we didn't have injuries, right?
And he offered nothing. And he offered nothing in attack.
Look, I didn't think Hayward was the problem, right? I didn't think Hayward was the problem. I don't think that money makes that big of a difference. That's honestly my opinion.
I would have him back. And if Hayward wants to be in the team, he can come off the bench playing his effective 20-25. And that was his most effective of the year, coming on and playing 10 or 15 minute stints.
I love money.
When the bodies were tired. That didn't need to change.
I love money.
Yeah, I know you do. But you started turning on him.
No, I prefer money over Hayward. I'm not saying I don't prefer money over Hayward. I need to be clear. I'm just saying that it's not going to make that big of a difference. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's not going to make that big of a difference.
Yeah, but I'm just pointing out where he was the most effective this year, and that was coming off the bench.
I agree.
How many times did he remember against the Roosters how he busted them up and chimed in with that comeback? Because he was picking on tired legs and he came off the bench. Fantastic. Kurt Mann needs to start. Jamin Salmon needs to get the flick. And in his place, you'd probably put you have to put Sam Hughes based on what you got from 18 to 22. I don't think Crichton plays. He's got a syndesmosis. It's 2 to 4 week injury. I don't even expect him to play the prelims, Elmo.
He'll play the prelim. He'll come. He would have recovered in the same amount of time that Kiraz did. So,
don't forget, one's a lateral, one's a syndesmosis. They're different.
You're right. No, they are different, but
they don't heal the same way.
2 to 4 weeks means that he'll get it needled and he'll come in. Then we got Josh Curran at 10, right?
It's not the pain that's stopping you.
I think it's a good move. I think having Josh Curran at 10 is a great move. Viliame Kikau 11, Preston at 12, Salmon at 13. Interchange Kurt Mann, Stili Tupanua, Harry Hayes, Reed Marnie. I still think we're one forward short. That's genuinely what I think.
Like I said, Salmon starting, flick off Salmon, put Mann starting. He used to come on the bench. Perfect.
Yeah.
215 powerhouse stints. Beautiful. Full of brute and impact. Honestly,
I agree. I would love to see.
Can we start an abusive petition, like threatening Ciraldo, harassing him, including the selectors, till he gets too much where they're just forced to make the change just to shut us up?
No, I don't. That's not good. That's going to be counterproductive. So I think, I look this week. Why I'm confident with this forward pack for this week is because I think that the Panthers don't have a big forward pack. So if you look at their forward pack, right? If we go through the Panthers team, Dylan Edwards, I think he's had a really poor last 4 weeks. Paul Alamotti, it's his second game back in first grade in place of Jenkins. Isaac Tango, Casey McLean, Brian To'o. I think the only one that stood out for me last week was Brian To'o. I thought he had a great game against the Warriors. Then Blaise Talangi, he's good in attack, but he's vulnerable in defense. Then we've got obviously the GOAT, Nathan Cleary, who I think will be the best 7 ever. And then we've got Moses Leota in the forward pack, Luke Summerton, Lindsay Smith, Scott Sorensen Lee, and Martin Isaiah Yo. It's a decent pack, but it's not a huge pack compared to what we've got. And so I think we can match them. We can absolutely match them in the forward pack. Even on the bench, Brad Schneider, Liam Henry, Isaiah Papali'i, who I thought had a great game against the Warriors, and Luke Garner. That, again, isn't a bench that scares me. If you compare our bench to theirs, I think it's on par, right? I reckon Kurt Mann and Stili Tupanua will come on and change the dynamic of the team. And so that's why I think this is going to be a more even game than people think. The one that's going to make the biggest difference for me is how do we handle Nathan Cleary? So the way that Nathan Cleary played against the Warriors and his kicking game, right? He killed the Warriors. How are we going to pressure Nathan Cleary, and is the referee going to destroy us
Your
for
kick
pressuring
chases,
the referee?
your defensive line's got to be in his face on the kicks. They got to put pressure on him.
Yeah, look. That's what I'm saying. But the problem that I worry about, is that the referee could absolutely f us up, right? He could absolutely f us up. And that's the thing, right? If we try and pressure Nathan Cleary and then the referee, client says, no, you're getting in his face, it's dangerous or whatever, that could put us off our game. However, if we can maintain our line speed and avoid any injuries, because we can maintain that line speed for 80 minutes, I reckon, like, after the way that they played against the Warriors and we played against Melbourne, I am very, very much of the opinion that we can win this. We can win this. And I think that someone like Matt Burton at center with his running game, especially if we can get Galvin giving him early ball on the left, bro, I reckon we can tear that side to shreds. We can, like, Isaac Tungo is a great player, no doubt.
I love Targo. He's wow.
Yeah, but Alamotti has a lot
Premiership winner.
But he's got defensive vulnerabilities. He had him at the Bulldogs, and he still has them at the Panthers. He's a great player. Not going to talk shit about him, but bro, he's got vulnerability, and I think we've got to go down the left side as often as we can and go early. One of the problems I see, and Dibbo, you tell me from a neutral if you also see it. We don't get out the back as often. Like, if we go out the back, right? If we get Curran running a line and go out the back to Burton Kikau, or
sometimes you hold the pass up. Sometimes you hold up. You don't give the final pass. I find it can go one more pair of hands. Against Melbourne, multiple times I thought it could have went another pair of hands. Galvin's got to have a big game from 6, man. Like Berto's Berto. He'll have a big game. I tipped him to have a big game last week. He did. Connor's another one that's going to have a big game. Kikau's going to have a big game. Kikau was fantastic when he came back on. I don't care if he threw that intercept because he was still trying to make his win. Yeah. The guy was playing with potentially a fractured cheekbone, copped the concussion. They were good. Like Preston, we need more out of Preston. We still need more out of the props, namely Max King. I thought Curran was more impactful earlier on, and expect Max King to be. Going to be a tough ask. Dylan Edwards, this is bread and butter. Somebody called him the weakest link. I don't know what the... Abraham, what were you thinking calling him the weakest link? Dylan Edwards does not stop. You can never write him off. He's a 4-time premiership winner. He's played at the top level of rugby league. He was one of the best in Origin last year. He played carrying an injury this year. He does not stop running. Like, do not write him off. Brian fucking To'o. Who stops Brian against the Warriors? He was a menace. Nathan Cleary. I think Nathan Cleary might just about be the best halfback we've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
It's funny. I asked my father a few weeks ago who was the best halfback he's ever seen. He's been watching footy for over 50 years. And without a doubt, he straight away said, Nathan Cleary. All right, I said, all right, Dad, second best, Mortimer. Stevie Mortimer.
Wow. What a call.
Steve Mortimer. I said, what about Cronk? I wish that Melbourne fan Zahere was here to hear this. But he goes, Cronk, because they kept giving him the players. But they goes,
I don't think Cronk's even in the top 5.
Look, he's definitely around there. But that goes, and they kept brought in the cap to keep him those players. Whereas by that goes, Cleary's just kept losing players and produced.
Marcus made a great point. Hey, Marcus has made a great point. Sorry, Nathan has a groin issue. So at the end of the Warriors game, Nathan Cleary couldn't actually take the conversions, and it was Dylan what's his name? Dylan Edwards taking the conversions. So that could be an issue as well. That could be something that we could exploit. His kicking may not be as good as we've seen it. Like, even again, in Origin 3, we saw he had that groin issue and he couldn't play. He couldn't play as well as he wanted to. And I think, like, it's just on us to be disciplined. And honestly, like
he's still going to give you a great game.
Yeah, look, I'm with you, but Eddie Abs has said something, and Zatar said something before. Get Salmon to sweep the leg on, and Nathan Cleary.
Win-win. Your player gets suspended. It's a win-win.
Yeah, sacrifice Salmon.
You guys are bastards.
Zatar said something. Zatar said something before. Let me put it up. Hang on. This is where is it? Yeah, stiff arm, sacrifice Salmon.
Great. Send your shittest player. Shouldn't even call him shit because he's a first grader, but send your weakest link. That's what I'll say.
How crazy is that, bro?
I just want to keep going. Moses Leota, come on, man. Like, guys, a movable object. Like, it's hard to dominate him.
Yeah.
Hard. Somebody, I think, will make way in the starting side for, what's his name? Mitch Kenny. Mitch Kenny. If he plays and he's fit, that's a massive in. He's done well, some of them, but Mitch Kenny's another level. Lindsay Smith, he's given a good account of himself. And then you got the supremely experienced 4-time premiership trio of Scott Sorensen, Liam Martin, and Isaiah Yo-Omo. What a you know why they're backs. You know why they're forwards. Those three win the forwards battle in the second row. Because look at your lock. He's nowhere in the class. Like Kikau and Preston can go into battle, but they're not getting any help from their lock. What's Salmon going to bring to that battle? What is he bringing? Honestly, like, what is he bringing? It's an absolute mismatch. Chuck Kurt Manning there, you got a titanic battle.
Yeah. Right.
Bench-wise, good bench. I mean, he's got a good bench too. Like, it's evenly matched bench. Liam Henry, front rower. He played good last week. And Luke Garner. What's that other prop for Penrith? What's his name?
Luron Patea.
I thought he should have been there instead of Garner. Why wasn't it on the 22? What's happened there?
Me too. Maybe he's injured. I don't think so, but
Maverick Guy was there.
No, I rate Luron Patea so much. He runs hard, tackles hard.
I thought he'd be there, and not Garner. Like Liam Henry's just been super this year, so he definitely deserves. Going to be a good game, Elmo. It's going to be another tight tussle, but honestly, Dogs got to play way better than they did last week. Honestly,
I think they will.
Honestly,
I reckon Ciraldo will have another.
I still think they will play good again. They'll make it a great contest. It's going to be another tough game, another close game. I reckon, another close game.
So with the Will Critter play poll, we had 52 votes and 71% said no, which is very clear. I think you're right. I think you guys are right. I don't think Crichton will play. If the team turns out, I was thinking about this earlier today. If it turns out that
I just want to
go.
Yeah, I just want to, because people have said it, and Tim Gray's pointed out again. Do the Dogs start with aggression straight away? Because he's pointed out something. Do we start with Satili and Hayes?
No.
You don't think they start with there? No. Instead of you don't think one of them. You don't think, mate, for example, Hayes. He's too small to start at prop. Like,
no,
you make Salmon. You definitely start one of them. You fuck off Salmon from there, and you probably put Hayes or Satili in there at lock. If you want to start with aggression, you at least get one of them there. And you know what? You might even. But then Curran's better starting.
No, but the thing is, what you got to understand is
you got to start with aggression.
No, but if they start, what happens is we end up losing the impact off the bench, and I think when you even against the Melbourne game, they scored quick, they scored early, and then when Mann and Tupanua came on, and even Hayes, it changed everything. It changed the momentum. It changed the dynamic of the game. And so I'm not necessarily in agreement that either of them can or should start. I think that as long as we can play to our strengths and play to a game plan and complete high, like we can't make errors. If we make errors, we won't. Last time we played them, we lost because we made so many errors. So I think if we can play clean footy and not make errors, I think we can win. If Crichton, let's speak hypothetically, right? Let's go hypothetically. I was thinking about.
I just want to ask Bulldogs commentary. He's saying someone's overhyped. I just want to say who's overhyped. Bulldogs commentary, lads. That's the famous Bulldogs commentary.
Harry Schwakey, yeah.
I always play them on repeat. I love it, even when he's abusing anyone. I love that.
Yeah. So
Harry, who's overhyped? Panthers. Ah, okay. Wow, he's calling Panthers overhyped. Big call, Harry. Big call. Man, you got to give them their dues, but like 5 grand finals in a row, 4-time premiership winners. Yes, they finished 7th. They have lost a lot of players. And this one's a tough one. Look, they're definitely overhyped, but you can't just overlook them or disrespect them. They got to give the Dogs got to give a better and stronger performance than they did against Melbourne last week. Honestly, Melbourne were crap. Do you expect Penrith to be the same this week? I don't think so.
I've just put up a poll up about who you guys think will win. While I have you here, please, guys, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, do all these things. So, could the Bulldogs be playing a bit of like smokes and mirrors? Genuinely, like that's genuine. Like, but you could talk shit about me all you want.
This is a tough game to choose, man.
But I'm asking a genuine question. Are the Bulldogs, have they been playing smokes and mirrors with scans? Could Fritz's injury be not as bad as originally expected? Right?
Critter?
And the Bulldogs are putting out false information, right? To play a little bit of smokes and mirrors with everybody, and then he gets named. Genuine, like, just grapple with that for a moment. Because I'll tell you why. There's been a lot of conflicting information going back and forth about what's happening with Critter. At first, they said it could have been a syndesmosis, but then they said it was medial. Then it was a midfoot. Then it was they said it could have been a Liz Frank. Then it was only 2 to 4 weeks. You know what? I don't like. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying that I'm just asking if it could. I don't know. I think I would love this to be my conspiracy to be true. I don't think it is, but I'm just sort of talking out loud. Hey, Timothy, Brent Sherwin will be coming on live tomorrow at midday, right here on YouTube, exclusive. He will be on YouTube at midday. Be sure to set your alarms and have all the good things ready. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just putting it out there. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't think you can play a syndesmosis with a painkiller. It's not about the pain. It's about the strength and the movement from there. Whether because when I snapped my Achilles, there was no, what's the word? Brian Dibb will be able to answer this because that's his field. I had to learn how to walk again. Like, there was no, the nerves were severed. Yeah,
there was
but I'm saying we're going off what the club has been telling everybody. The club could be playing smokes.
Those ligaments need to strengthen again. Hey, Brian, with a syndesmosis injury, like, painkillers don't do anything for it. Am I right? It's got to actually recover. The ligaments got to strengthen to be able to react again. It's not just injecting with a painkiller and he can run out there, especially after a week, for example. Anyways, see what he says. Oh, there's 2 Brians in there. I think they're going to see. Look, there you go. That's actually Brian's field. It's what his his profession. There you go. I think Tiam must be doing that. Is Tiam a doctor or something? Tiam, hello?
I don't know. I don't think he is, but I'll tell you what. Again, we're going based off what the club has been saying. It could be that the club is talking a bit of crap. I hope it is, but I just hope they don't risk having an injured player on the bench for no reason. I think if we go in with 17 fully fit players or more fit players than having 16 fit players and one guy who can't run, there's just no point. I don't think we should risk it. Even Montoya, like Jethro Rinakama, is good enough. I would argue probably a little bit better than Montoya. So I don't think we should be rushing anyone at all. Drop Salmon, move Kurt Mann into lock, bring an extra forward on the bench, and I think we're set. So that's what that's what I think. I reckon. I reckon like the Panthers are weak in the back row. I think like if we target Alamotti and Isaac Tango, I think we can get them. I think we can definitely get them there. but it's going to have to be a 80-minute performance from beginning to end. We can't take a nap for 5 minutes. And I think the Bulldogs can do it. I think we played for 75 minutes against the Storm. We can play 80 minutes against the Panthers. And I think we did last time we played them, and we'll probably have a better idea of we'll have a better idea of how they go, how to play them after that game we played earlier in the year. So look, I'm very excited. Quickly, while I've got you guys here, 72 people. I just want to talk to you guys
you know what?
about our sponsor. If that's
71.
Okay.
And then hurry up. I want to glaze the dogs after. Quick.
All right. So Essence Exchange is Australia's home of premium Arab perfumes. They're the exclusive supplier of Dubai's coveted brand Reef, bringing you luxurious oil-based fragrances designed for intense, long-lasting scents. It's 100% authentic, so you're not getting dupes, you're not getting copies, nothing like that. And if you go to essenceexchange.com.au, the link is in the description. You'll get 20% off using the coupon code Kennel20. So if you have mates that you go to the game with and they stink, or if you want to get a gift for someone to let them know that you've been working around them and they stink, or if you stink, or if you just want to smell better, essenceexchange.com.au. They have summer smells. They have all the smells that you could potentially want at essenceexchange.com.au.
Isn't there a discount code, or did I just mishear it? Am I getting a
discount?
20% off?
20% off. 20% off.
And you're going to post up the link so I can have a look? I've got a whole cache of perfume at home, so buying another one doesn't hurt. I mean if I don't like, I'll just donate it to one of the members here. Send it out to them on the house.
So Jamie's perfume is on the way. He did win one last week. We did a giveaway, and he won one. It is on the way.
Has it arrived?
I don't know if it has arrived. I put the request in. It's just taking some time. Zatar,
nice, Timmy. Nice.
Brian didn't get banned. I've never banned anyone. I don't ban anyone from this.
Who? Who said who? Brian. Brian's been chatting. There's like 10 Brians in here chatting.
Oh, sorry. He was banned from another podcast. Sorry, apologies, guys. Yeah, we don't ban anyone as long as you guys respect each other and everyone. He's fantastic. Like no one needs to get banned, bro. I love you guys. Jamie, it's on the way.
Brians here.
Yeah, Jamie, it's already on the way.
Guys, where do you think the Dogs need to do? Where are the key matchups? Like, where do you think the Dogs have to win? What do they have to do to be able to win here? We can't just say, "Oh, it's my Dogs. I'm the biggest Dogs fan, and the Dogs are going to win this week." And come on, man, give me some substance. Give me something behind why the Dogs will win. Why? Because the Dogs are better than Parents? No, that's not going to do it for me. Why can the Dogs win this week? If they're going to win, where are they going to do it? Where do they have to do it? Tiam, someone. Adam from the USA.
From New York.
From New York. Where's our San Francisco fan?
Adam,
because San Francisco's behind them.
Bro. Good to see you in here, Adam. I'll be with you. Yeah, look, I think.
Where are the Dogs going to win? I've got there's 3 guys. There's for me, it's got to be Kikau and Preston. That got to nab a few for you guys to have a chance. So if they do, remember what I said.
Kikau, Sharks fan here, but loving the content as of late. Hey man, really appreciate your kind words, and just want to say thank you for doing the whole NRL a favor and getting rid
bashing
of
the Roosters.
Bro.
Thank you.
Honestly, so over the moon. I've never rooted for the Sharks, but I found myself screaming the Sharks home because the Roosters just didn't deserve to be in the top 8, and I'm so glad they were shown to be the pretenders that they are. So, I mean, even this week, I think that the Sharks are actually a really big chance against the Raiders after that big game the Raiders had.
100%.
I think here's where I think it's won. I reckon it's won through Burton. I think Burton in the centers, like if we can plan around him and give him
only Burton? Really? Only Burton? Come on, Elmo, give me more than that. It's got to be more than that. This is not a club game. He's playing in the centers. He's not playing in the halves. He's receiving. It's got to be more to it. Somebody's got to lay the platform. Someone up the middle. Come on, Elmo. Give me more than just Burton. I already put him down for a big game and a good game. But give me more than Burton.
Kikau. I think Kikau
Thank
is.
you.
Yeah, I think Kikau needs to have. You know what it is. I think it's our second row altogether. I don't just think it's Kikau. I think it's Kikau and
Your front rowers need a hold. They need a hold against obviously their front rowers, but
that's it.
Kikau and Preston need to get it over Martin and Sorensen, and Kikau and Preston are both that can lay off a few tries for themselves easily. They got that in them. They got to break that line. They got to play their best game of the year. I'm putting it down to them two.
I think
Brian To'o, another one. You guys got to somehow limit Brian To'o. He is the immovable object. You got to either kick away from him or somehow just do a crazy kick and chase and narrow his return kick meters. They got to watch out for his plus, hit ups.
Actually, I'll tell you who it's going to be. It's going to be Sexton putting the ball up for Kiraz to jump over Alamotti. That's where it's going to be. That's where it's going to be.
Okay. That's one strategy. Good. No, I like this. You're giving me more than one area. I like that because you just sitting there telling me Burton did not do it for me.
So I think if you look at Kiraz is actually pretty good under the high ball, and I think we don't use him enough. And Kiraz has the height difference over Alamotti. So I think that's going to be an area where we can get it over the Panthers. We just need Rinakama to be up in To'o's face. I think if Rinakama is up in To'o's face all night, he's not going to be able to stop him. He's just going to have to manage him. Him and Burton on that left edge in defense, they just need to manage.
It's going to have to be more than that. They're going to have to, either put up a skyscraper of a kick, put up a booming kick, so by the time he catches the ball, they've tackled him. They've got to limit his kick returns. They've got to either kick away from him. So, if they kick to his side and he doesn't take the ball, the fullback takes it or the centre, I guarantee you 9 out of 10 times or 99 out of 100 times, he's taking the first, second or third hit up, one of them. His runs are extremely damaging. He's got a low centre of gravity. He's extremely hard. His Kiraz with less of the height.
Hang on, Magas said, read something you wrote earlier. Kiraz offloads up the middle on 40-meter line, creating second phase play. I agree with you. I think Kiraz will be really important, and then I absolutely
Kiraz will give Kiraz. I can excuse him for last week because obviously he still wasn't 100%, and he hadn't played in about 2 or 3 weeks. I expect him to have a much bigger. I expect him that performance. I expect a vintage Kiraz performance this week of his damaging runs and his tackle breaks and his offloads. His teammates need to be alert to expect the offload, especially if he starts getting driven back. They need to be timing their runs off him because that could be really, really damaging. But To'o, they've got to have a game plan for him. That's one area. Another area you think that will work is put up the high kick on Alamotti and hope Kiraz, produces the big skits on a few occasions. Burton will give you 100%. Don't worry about him. Your halves need to be on. I think they will. For me, your props need to hold their own against their props. But for me, to break the game, it's got to be Kikau and Preston. Somehow they need to fuck off Salmon in amongst all of that.
Look,
and bring in Man or someone else.
As long as our forwards hold their own. I'm not asking them to win the game for us. Just hold their own. As long as they don't get dominated, as long as the forwards don't get dominated, as long as they do not get dominated, I guarantee you they give us a big advantage. Because if they get dominated, it's like we can't do anything. But if they don't get dominated, and I don't think they can get dominated, right? Because the Panthers' forward pack isn't that big. They don't have the Fisher Harris, Moses Leota 1-2 punch anymore. I actually reckon if they hold their own, that gives Galvin and Sexton the ability to scheme. And so one of the things that I reckon happens is,
they just got to keep pushing the passes. Like, Melbourne, I thought they always one pass short after making inroads. Keep it going. Keep it going. If he needs to just keep left, go for it.
I reckon that Galvin's short kicking game is very underrated. And all we're going to need to see is Galvin bring back his short kicking game. Don't give them any repeat sets. Don't let To'o.
I don't rate his kicking game.
He's got a great short kicking game. I actually disagree.
I'm not counting on that. I'm not counting on that. They can't count on his kicking game. It's a lot of people will tell you. Maybe only Dogs fans will tell you his kicking game sets the world on light. But honestly, from a neutral point of view, I've never even taken notice of his kicking game at all.
No, I think against Manly against Manly, against the Warriors, against teams when he's played well, even against the Storm. He's got a great kicking game, great short kicking game, not long kicking game. I think he's got a poor long kicking game, but a really good short kicking game. So in my opinion,
well, they're going to make sure they get themselves in position, Elmo.
Yeah, I agree with you. No, I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. If we want to nullify the likes of To'o, Edwards, and even Alamotti, we need to be kicking away from them and just use the short kicking game, right, to try and just keep the pressure on. If we get into their 20, we just have to be really patient. Adam Bannon says the key play: Haywood, Sexton, Tracy, Sherry, try. The thing, you know what I like, you know what I love about this is that it's spot on, because last week that try that Tracy set up for Kiraz with that cutout pass was brilliant. We need to see more of that. Like, that will help go a long way, in my honest opinion, if we can have Tracy taking some of the pressure off Galvin, off Sexton. So, like, I reckon Tracy...
He's just got to be busy. Game. If he's busy again like he is last week, that's very good. They're not... I'll just reiterate it again. Canterbury ain't going to win the game off the back of Burton only. No. It needs to be a stellar performance from the whole team, but there's key areas and there's probably key strategies they're going to come up with. Elmo pulling out one, perhaps kick to Alamotti's wing, put up the high ball, and Kiraz is great under the high ball and hope, he gets one over him. In all honesty, I'd like to see Kiraz go up against Brian Tuttle. They probably cancel each other out.
The thing is, I think that he's wasted on the left. He's much better on the right. He scores a lot more tries on the right.
So you just got to hope. You just got to hope he's kick away from Tuttle. And I think that's a great strategy. Keep kicking down to Alamotti. I reckon just keep kicking to Alamotti. And if you're going to kick to Tuttle's wing, put up the bomb, put up a skyscraper. So by the time the ball comes down for him or Edwards, they got minimal time to return the kick. Minimal time. And the defensive line is set. They got to do that. They got to keep putting up the high kicks. Even if he's 20 out or 30 out, put up the bomb. Do a strategy. I'll rewind you something 40 years ago, 1985 grand final. Back then, if you caught the ball, if you defused the ball in goals, it was not a 20 start. If you caught the ball and you got tackled, you had a dropout. So what do you think Canterbury did against St. George in the 85 grand final to win that grand final 7-6? They peppered St. George with bombs into their in goal. And Brian Johnson, the blonde fullback who's no longer with us, he kept defusing the bomb, but he didn't get ruled of a 20-metre restart. He kept getting tackled in goal, and Canterbury just kept getting the dropout again and retaining possession. They couldn't do a kick return. They couldn't get the ascendancy. They couldn't get a 20-metre tap. They just got to, in my opinion, they got to have that strategy of putting up bombs. There's nothing crash hot about Penrith wingers taking bombs. Brian Tuttle's short as well.
Very short.
He's short. Rinakama, put up the attacking bomb. Run with that strategy. They got to go to left field. This is do or die. They can't just sit there and play percentage football again like it's round 15, Elmo, or round 10.
No, we've got to go hell for broke. So, like, Jamie Tisdale was given a $5 super, and he thinks Max King to step up his game and get a try, and Titili will come on and break the line open. Look, I've sort of lost a little bit.
I just say Titili's going to break the line. You're going to run with the strategy. You got to come out with something. I reckon the Dogs should go the skyscraper here. That's where Burto's got to try get. If Burto's kicking from the left and it's going to the right, which is not Brian's side, am I right? Brian's on the other side. I mean, what's he called? Alamotti's on the other side.
Yeah.
So perfect. If you want someone to kick on the fifth and it's going away from Brian, give it to Burto. That could be another strategy they run with. He might be out of position, but the ball's not going to his side. So really, he's got nothing to lose.
The thing is, the other thing I've seen just on Sutili Tupanua is they play him in the middle, and I actually think he's more effective if he's playing on an edge. So what I
don't disagree. I disagree.
I think that Tupanua, we saw it against Melbourne last week. He made a couple of busts, a couple of tackle busts and stuff. I think that we need to get Sitili Tupanua on an edge. Just keep running him on an edge. I think he can be as explosive as Kikau is on the left. So just get him on the right edge, early ball, and just bang. Just let him run those mad lines.
Look, Kikau is obviously more physical, but look, even Sitili Tupanua up the middle can bust the line because he's got that leg speed.
Yeah,
He's a
it's
rocket.
insane,
He's got footwork.
Yeah, it's so insane.
You know, he could
So
potentially.
insane.
Here's another strategy. Utilize the inside pass on the tired forward. If you have
100%.
Sitili or Kurt Mann streaming onto it, that could potentially bust the line. If it doesn't, it's a half a break. You're on the ascendancy.
We need
They got to run with strategies. For me, it's got to be the high kick as much as possible. Obviously, on the back of a good attacking set, because you're not going to put the bomb if you're only 30 or 40 meters out from your own line.
The other thing that pisses me off is that I feel like anytime we make a break or a half break, there isn't anyone supporting. We need to make sure we're supporting. That's the big thing. We need Tracy, Rinakama, whoever it is, always in support. Always in support. If you make a half break, someone's there. The best teams have support. Like if you look at the Broncos, the Raiders, the Storm, they've always got someone in support. And I think we're going to have our opportunities. We just make sure we take them. And I think if we take them, I genuinely think that we can beat the Panthers. It's not going to be easy. A lot of people are just expecting Panthers to rock up. Bro, there's no way we're going to get rolled. I reckon like we're going to get in there with
a game plan. It's going to be a close game again. And
I reckon we're well positioned to actually get the win. Everyone thinks like, people were talking shit about, were attacking me for saying that I think that we'll play better than the Storm. And I reckon we did. I reckon if it wasn't for the injuries, we win quite comfortably against the Storm.
He's blew it.
I don't think we blew it. I think the Raiders blew it. The Raiders blew it.
Look, I reckon he's blew it. Melbourne played garbage. You should have put them away. You honestly should have put them away.
We had too many injuries to say we blew it. If we didn't have the injuries, I'd say we blew it.
And you still had him on a string. You should have beaten him.
That's my point. But that's what I'm saying, that I think we can actually beat the Panthers.
Golden opportunity. A week off, 2 weeks to recover.
Would have been insane. It would have been so good, man. But look, here's what I think. I think the Dogs are going to win by 4 points or 6 points. It's going to be such a dog fight. I reckon it's going to be like 22-18. And I just reckon, I just think that the Bulldogs are going to come out and play like they've never played before. I'm expecting so much. And by the way,
let's hear this.
I think Critter's going to play.
He still thinks Critter's going to play. Wow.
I reckon Critter's going to play. Otherwise, why name him in the 23?
Just to play more games. Just to play more.
I mean, that's a good point, actually. But I think knowing Critter and knowing that the injury isn't as bad as first thought, I reckon that we're going to win. And I think that Critter's going to be a big part of that. Even if he doesn't play all 80 minutes, I reckon they're going to have...
I don't think he even plays next week. Anyways.
No, if we win, he'll definitely... If he doesn't play against the Panthers, he'll definitely play against the Broncos.
Be a liability. But anyways...
Yeah, I think, but he'll probably, he may play on the. I don't know. Look, I don't know how they're going to do it.
It's got no strength. You won't be able to kick or step off it. I'm just telling you.
We'll have to see.
It's not a pain injury. It's something else.
Who are you tipping about?
Huh?
Who are you tipping?
I'm going Penrith by 4. By 4.
I mean, honestly, that's fair.
But can I point out something? That's only my brain talking, right? That's only my brain talking. I'm looking at it, I'm taking into account injuries. I'm taking into account forms. And I'm obviously taking a lot of things into account here, basically. And some of your players are playing hurt. The Tinker Man, I don't like some aspect of your lineup there, as I've shared earlier, which is, it's actually pissed me off, to be honest. But who do I actually want to win? And so bad, I want the Dogs to win. Because if the Dogs lose, there goes the excitement. Like, sure, I'll watch the prelims and go, yeah, that was great. But I sort of see the Dogs fans carry on for another week at the least, Right, the drama, the ecstasy.
Hey, let me tell you, if we beat the Panthers and we end their run, the party that's going to happen in Belmore, it's not going to be normal. It's going to
be a close game. I'm only tipping Penrith by 4. Only by 4. It is going to be a close game. I tipped Melbourne in a close game, and I was right there. And I think this is going to be another close game. And if I'm wrong, I don't care. Let me be wrong. I'll actually be happy.
Can you, bro, imagine
if the Dogs lose next week, can you imagine the podcast next week? I mean, can you imagine the podcast next week? It's going to be a somber affair. Like, what are we going to talk about? Half-hearted about the prelims, about the Dogs. The only thing I'll be
So
looking
excited
forward to
about
talk on the podcast is the Dragons making the reserve grade grand final, and that's about it.
Yeah. Nah, look,
I'm just trying
you're
to
right.
take the thunder.
No, you're right. You're right. But
It's gonna be it'll be a drab affair, but I just want to see the fans. You know, I don't want 70,000 Dogs fans all of a sudden. You know, okay.
no, I reckon the Dogs are in with a strong chance. That's my honest opinion. And I'm gonna tip the Dogs. I'm never gonna tip against the Dogs. And wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if Reed Money is on the bench and he comes on in the last 15 minutes and makes the game-winning play, or Toby Sexton makes the game-winning play? I think that'll be so funny, and there'll be a lot of egg on Ciraldo's face. But again, I think it's going to be such a big game. I'm really nervous, but I will say that I will go live again right after the game, win, lose, or draw. Against the Storm, I told you guys I'd go live, and I went live. I went live immediately after the game. I shared my emotions with you guys. I was devastated. So after the game, come straight to YouTube. I will go live straight away. I promise. Win, lose, or draw. Even if we get destroyed, I will go live while I'm still at the stadium right after the game finishes. And if there are big celebrations happening because we've won or whatever, I will share that all with you guys. But if there's no celebrations, if we lose, I will share my misery with you guys. That session that we had together, as Peter G is mentioning, it was so therapeutic. I think for myself and everyone that was watching there, we were just complaining and about everything that happened. So I will go live. I'll probably go live multiple times that night. One straight after the game, and then one when I get home. I'll go live the next day as well, just off my phone, just to have a bit of a chat. Me and you, Dibbo, can do it on the Monday morning if you have time. I'll definitely.
I'm gonna do a live.
I'll definitely be here.
I'm gonna do a live watch along.
Yeah, all right. Watch out for that. I'll make sure to set up the live watch along early so that you guys have the link. And just want to reiterate that tomorrow, Sherwin will be on with us previewing the Panthers game at midday. Have a good one, Adam. Thanks for joining, brother. I really, really enjoy having you here.
Love you, Adam. Thanks, champion.
So Dogs to win the Panthers game. I think it's going to be a cracker. We've spoken a lot. I want to quickly preview the next semi-final. You have time for that? Just quickly, Dibbo?
Bloody oath. Fuck, this one's going to be a cracking game. Again, in the nation's capital. Canberra will be licking their wounds. Cronulla will be buoyed. Two strong lineups, two strong forward packs. Cronulla's got a great chance to win this. Great chance. I reckon Melbourne's in trouble. A bit of trouble. Who does Melbourne get back? Or they'll get Hughes back.
Yeah, apparently
Jerome, he's a massive in. Him and Pappenhausen.
Yeah, they're huge.
You know what? I love to not see Melbourne make it. I hope that Zahe Melbourne fan is watching this.
Oh, I would rather
Melbourne.
I would rather Sharks
make Melbourne. But anyway,
I would rather Sharks.
Man, I want Canberra. I rather Canberra I rather Canberra or Cronulla, but really Canberra, my first choice.
Yeah,
Canberra or Cronulla make it out of me. I'm sick of seeing Melbourne in there and just giving a shit. And then in the other grand final, fucking oath. I love who we got as our options: Brisbane, Penrith, or the Dogs. Bloody oath. Love that. I mean, we always see Penrith in the grand final, but I never get sick of them.
I'm actually
tipping. Good.
I'm tipping the Sharks.
It is. I'm going to go Canberra. It's home territory. I'm going to go Canberra by 4. Another close Titanic tussle. But man, both games can go either way. You don't understand. It's like oohing and ahhing and oohing. Do I want to? This is like. I could easily just go turn around and tip the other teams. It's the same thing in the boxing in the weekend. I initially was favouring Canelo for months. The day before the fight, or 2 days before the fight, rather, I said, no, I'm actually going to favour Crawford. I don't know if he's watched the boxing. And I changed, closer to the game, I could probably change my mind, especially if there's ins and outs, which I'm expecting from both sides. Or both games, rather.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just think that the Sharks had a much easier game. They're not as battered. They're not as bruised. Their psychology isn't as heavily affected. I'm
going to go with the score that Timothy Gray said, 30-26. I'm thinking along the lines of that. Like, like that 28-24, 30-26. Both sides lead tries.
They do.
It's always they both can turn it on. It's going to be like something like that, 30-26, 28-24, something like that. That's how I see it anyway.
Yeah, it's a fair tip. Where do you think it's won? Do you think the Sharks just don't have that next level?
Both got great forward packs. Honestly, it's the forwards again. Look at both their forward packs. I think Cronulla, for me, the concern I got there is Billy Burns and the lock Kaloon.
Yeah,
can they match it with the others? Like Billy Burns, for me, is out of his. Although he played in a winning game against the Roosters, I just feel like he's out of his depth against all the prop second rowers and locks that Canberra got.
I reckon Nikora will start. Look
at the bench. Can you go down? Look at the bench for Cronulla. Nikora, Talakai, Kafusi, Hammond. That is a way better bench than Canberra's. Like, look at that. So, look at the benches.
Bro. I don't know. I think like look, I'm with you. They're great, but I think like Simi Sasaki, Smithies, and Adam Mariota have been so good. They've been so
Smithies,
good, man.
Like for me, Smithies doesn't offer the same punch of the four Cronulla players. Mariota and Sasangi, I still think all four Cronulla bench players got basically better than them at this stage of their career. Hammond was fantastic last week.
Yeah.
Nikora, Talakai, Kafusi, wow. Like, look at the players that missed out for Cronulla. Like Tapua, if you go down to the reserves bench, who's there? It's Tapua. Like, Atkinson missed out. Look at that. And he was fantastic in Cronulla's win against Melbourne.
As well, man.
Hazelton's missed out. Peru. Tapua's not even there, and he missed out.
Yeah. I reckon Billy Burns might drop out. Nikora will start, and then Hazelton come over to the bench. That's what I reckon may happen. But
look, Billy Burns. How's he start though? Like him and Kaloon. How are they starting in that Cronulla team? Like, sure they beat Roosters, but now it's Canberra with an unrelenting forward pack. That Hudson Young's like a Ferrari.
That's why I reckon. That's why I reckon Nikora will come in.
Surprised the guy's been one of the form second rowers for the last 3, 4, 5 years, and he's on the bench. Really?
No, because he was injured and he started on the bench last.
I'm starting to think Fitzgibbon's having his Ciraldo moment, choosing Billy Burns over Nikora. Whereas, honestly, like you jot that down, is Fitzgibbon having his Ciraldo moment? Where he's choosing Billy Burns or Kaloon over the likes of, for example, Nikora. In your case, Salmon over Man. Like, has Ciraldo offered an explanation why he chooses that? As a fan, to the members, and he's got a lot of members, like 50,000, surely he's got to offer an explanation down the track. Why is he running with that?
Look, he has his favourites. Who wins in the... I'm starting a poll for this Raiders game in the semi-final of Raiders versus Sharks. Raiders and Sharks. To be honest, I just think that the hangover from the game, I reckon the hangover from the game last week will just be a little bit too much, in my opinion.
For the Raiders, that was a long game, 95 minutes. It's a good shout, Elmo. Excellent shout. Is that this game? When's this game? Saturday or Sunday? Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday, 7:50.
Jeez, if it was a Friday, my God, that would have been a lot of trouble.
Yeah. It's a Saturday, 7:50. I just think psychologically as well, like it'll be hard to get up. Like it'll be very hard to get up after that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I think they can get up for it. I think they will get up for Raiders, but Cronulla, oh mate, it's gonna be a close game again.
Because they had I felt like they had an easy game against the Roosters. Like the Roosters were, like they performed how I thought they would. Honestly, I
tipped Cronulla and I got it right, so I'm actually happy with that.
Yeah, so did I, because I just thought that finals footy will expose. I thought
Cronulla I think that win against the Dogs gave them some confidence.
I agree, but the Roosters are not. I don't think this year they were that great. They played some good games at the back end of the year, but they weren't great. Look, I thought the Broncos were exposed, and I thought that the Broncos should have lost. They didn't deserve to win that game at all. Walsh played out of his skin, but like number one, right? Ashley Klein blew time at 80 minutes. That was it. It's over. It doesn't matter what the penalty was. But they went back. From my understanding of the rule, is that they shouldn't have gone back. They should have been left where it was. The result should have been 28-26. Then you look at, that tip on from Jet Stewart. Like, that's a 50-50 every day of the week, right? It's a 50-50 every day of the week. They surprise, he went to the Broncos. There were, Hudson Young gets sin bin. Bro, what the hell was that? Why the hell did Hudson Young get sin bin? It should have been 13-12. It should have been 13-11 at one point.
Apparently, because he called him a weak-gutted dog. But anyways.
Yeah, but that was ridiculous. The Raiders deserved to win that game.
Look, we can't take it away from the Broncos. They kept going. Like, it wasn't an easy task to come down by 16 points. You're not giving them credit, Elmo.
And
16 points down.
In extra time, whatever.
We didn't tell that to Canterbury when they beat Parramatta after coming down from 18-2 with 10 minutes to go. A win's a win. They took it home. That's the finals for you.
I'm with you. But the refs impacted that game too much. I think Ashley Klein ruined.
In what way? Just that one decision? Decision?
No, there were 2 or 3 decisions that went the Broncos' way.
They weren't even disadvantaged. They were still 12-12. Come on, Elmo.
It should have been 13-11.
And then what's his name went to the bin as well, Carrigan.
No, but it should have been 13-11. How can you not send that Carrigan to the bin for that? Why did Hudson Young get bin?
They weren't disadvantaged in every way.
Why did Hudson Young get bin? Why did they go back after the whistle was blown?
But you're basing the whole decision off that one sin bin, the whole game. That is wrong. It was 10 minutes. If they were a class act, they'd win the game.
No, they stuffed up. I know they stuffed up.
They got outplayed in the last 20 minutes. They lost. Matter of fact, they were getting outplayed in that first half. It was just that 20-minute period.
The refs wanted the Raiders to win 3 times. In my opinion, the Raiders won twice. The refs wanted them to win 3 times. That's my opinion. Even Ben Hunt said that penalty after the 80th minute was harsh, right? The Raiders faded.
I don't disagree, but that's the crappy rules these days. The crappy rules.
The Raiders
faded. A penalty from all the other. It's a crappy rule. Agree.
Look, the Raiders faded. I'm not saying the Raiders didn't fade, but I'm saying that the referees expected the Raiders to win 3 times, not twice. I think they won twice. And that's, in my opinion, the referees did all they can to give it to Brisbane. That's genuinely how I feel. I think that while it was the best game I've ever seen because of those rules, I would have been a lot happier had the Raiders won because they deserved it. Sure, the Broncos came back, but why the hell did the Broncos drop the ball?
We kicked the Raiders, but yeah, we didn't, I don't even see that. I honestly thought the game was over. I switched off I had it on KO because I was at it. I thought it was 28-26. I did rock up to the engagement and go, the game's finished while he's watching the replay. Yeah. Then they get told, who won? I'm like, Canberra 28-26. Like, what are you talking about? It's 28-all. How silly do you think I felt?
In any case, with the poll, it's actually not close. There's been 22 votes, and 82% of people think that that the Raiders will win.
Really? I tipped Canberra, but in a close one.
Yeah, it's going to be a very close one. I'm actually very excited to watch this game. Honestly, I'm very, very excited to watch the game. I hope it's a good cracker game. I just don't know if the Raiders can get back up after that Broncos game. Look, let me tell you this. If the Raiders come back, if they come back and smash the Sharks, I reckon they'll beat the Storm.
I like that shout. I think they can.
I reckon if they beat the Sharks and they beat them well, I reckon they'll beat the Storm. Because you know why? They won't allow that.
Man, I want to see Canberra in the grand final. Fuck the Melbourne Storm. Let's say it again.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to see the Broncos there because I don't think they've deserved it all year. And for them to make it now, based on some shitty calls from the referee, I reckon that is unaccepted. With that said, we've been online now for 2 hours and 10 minutes. This has been one of the best podcasts I think we've ever done. I freaking love it, even though I'm sick. And I'll be.
I think it was just because I think it's because I was pissed off with the whole team selections. I hope he fixes them on game day. Anyways, I'll let you continue.
Yeah. With that, tomorrow midday, Sherwin live, Panthers vs Dogs preview. Live at midday.
Nice.
With Brent Sherwin. Make sure you set the alarm. I'll put something up on YouTube. I'll put something up on Instagram. I'll put all this stuff up to make sure that you guys know that it's happening. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to share with your mates. Tomorrow, if you are watching live, make sure to share to all your mates and all the NRL footy chats, please, because I want to give Sherwin as much love as I can. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Jamie, always with the good night 5. We love you, bro. Have a good night. Have a good one as always. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you in the morning. Up the doggies. We will talk soon. And let's up the dogs. Make sure you buy tickets. Tickets are cheap. There are still heaps of tickets, right?
Thanks, Timmy.
To the game. Let's see everybody there, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I will try and jump on a little bit earlier before Brent comes on. But yeah, we'll definitely try and be there by 12:10 at the absolute latest. Have a good night, guys. We love you all so much. Thank you for your support. Have a good night. Also, very quickly, thank you, Luke Wiskowski. Good luck to the Panthers, boys. I love the Panthers team. I really hope it's a great game. Look, whoever wins, I don't mind. I just hope that whoever wins does that it's won without the referee having too much influence on the game. I reckon whoever wins against the Dogs and the Panthers, I reckon makes it to the grand final. I don't think the Broncos are within earshot of a grand final. Yes, it will stay online. You'll be able to watch it again after it goes live. It will always be up there. I'll make sure it's titled well. I'll have a proper thumbnail ready to go and things like that. So yeah, be sure to check that out. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much and have a good night. Debo, I love you. Thank you very much for your time. I love your passion. I love having you as the co-host, bro. You're a fucking legend. I love it. Have a good night.